Hello everyone, and I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to the fantasy match preview for the game between Bangladesh and Pakistan. It's going to be a very important game for both these teams as they're building up into the World Cup. So before that, I'm sure both these teams want to get adequate match practice, and hence it'll be a very important game for them. Apart from that, Fantaplay has some interesting free contests in the upcoming games also tomorrow, so remember to check that out. And like you can see, they're building up their T20 leaderboard with the first prize being a car. Yes, a car and a bike, so remember to check that out too. Anyway, let's get to our preview for this game and these guaranteed contests. You must take advantage of them as most of them don't fill up at times. I'm attaching the app link in the description so you can go there and do it. Go there right away. So after going at that, you can look at the team for this game. First up in the keeping section, Mohammad Rizwan is going to be the best choice. I think Liton Das is a decent choice too, but let's look at other options first. Babar Azam from the batting section. Now before I go ahead with this preview of the team, I also want to show you an interesting matchup. So, like you can see, two interesting matchups here. Babar versus Fizz and Tuskin. He strikes below 100 against Tuskin, been dismissed once. Against Fizz, been dismissed twice, and strikes at 110. So, will be very interesting. While Rizwan gets one step more intense as he strikes below 100 against the full Bangladesh bowling lineup. Everyone that's bowled to him ever from this lineup. But you must also keep in mind that most of these games for Pakistan have happened in Bangladeshi conditions, and you know how the pitches there are. Even in T20s, they make pitches that are worth using on a test match on day 5. So keep that in mind. Maybe these strike rates are slightly skewed, but yes, they would help the confidence of the bowlers. Now let's go ahead with the team preview. So looking at the team preview further ahead, I think from the batting section, I'd probably go ahead and pick another Bangladesh batter. Now you see that most of these options are pretty average in nature. I think Soumya Sarkar is a half decent choice, so you can go with him. This is the sort of game where I'm not really inclined towards more batting, so I'm looking at the all-rounders first. Shakib Al Hasan, very good choice. But there'll be one point of consideration here. Maybe he's not captaincy, vice captaincy material if the pitch is as flat. Generally, when you see the pitch at Hagley, so this game's going to happen at Hagley Oval in Christchurch, where boundaries are slightly shorter, and generally there's not as much in it for spin. So it is that, especially when it's fresher. Not I'm not talking about when it's an older pitch, but we are expecting a fresh pitch, and in that case, it should help pace a little bit more. So you must keep that in mind, and maybe that's a differential non-captaincy vice captaincy option. Apart from that, yes, you also know Rizwan and Babar play slightly slow up front, so they might just play him off in the middle overs. What are your other options then? Shadab Khan and Mohammad Nawaz. Again, both will be very important for Bangladesh for against Bangladesh, because especially if they bowl second, Bangladesh can throw wickets to them, and when they bowl second, it also means that they bat first and might get decent amount of opportunity with the bat. Another thing for you to keep in mind is that Bangladesh have a decent amount of left-handers in their top order. So Iftikhar Ahmed can come into the game as he's also going to bat up top. Looking at our pace options, Shaheen Afridi, if he's fit, you'll take. Haris Rauf, you will surely have in your team. From Bangladesh, I think you have to pick Mustafizur Rahman. He has some positive matchups against Pakistani batters, so you have to have Mustafizur Rahman in the team. If Nasoom Ahmed is bowling second, you can consider him too. But this is my setup of my first 9 players. I think these guys would be must-haves for you. Soumya Sarkar or Afif Hussain, one of the two, you can take a call based on whoever is playing. I think you can try Iftikhar Ahmed from this section because I feel he can be handy, and Mehdi Hassan Miraz because he has been opening the batting and he's going to bowl some important overs for Bangladesh too. So this is the sort of game where I'd like to opt with 5 all-rounders and just 2 batters. I know you can't do this on all apps, but like I always say, your loyalty should be towards your money and not to any specific app. So yes, you can use this app for this specific game at least. Apart from that, captaincy, vice captaincy choices, if you're someone who likes to go safe, then you can go with Shakib and Shadab. I think if Shaheen is fit, he'll be a decent option, but I'm not too sure if they'll bowl him full quota. Maybe they want to go slightly conservative with his usage. Haris Rauf can be a very good option, especially if he's bowling first. I'll be inclined to go with him, especially in these conditions. He might get decent amount of bounce. Vice captaincy choices, maybe you can go with Babar or Rizwan. and that is what the setup of my team looks like for this game. And yes, Babar and Rizwan are also safe choices, I know that, but in these conditions, a decent ball, a slightly good amount of bounce, and that would be good enough to do any batter. And it would take some time for any subcontinent batter to come and adjust to the conditions here, and hence I'd not really call them safe, and hence I feel all rounders are slightly safer in that perspective, and I think Pacers would be your best bet. Now let's look at our Exchange 22 picks for this game. So now let's have a look at the Exchange 22 picks for this game. Here you can go with just 1, 2, 3 players, how many players you want to. The point system is similar to Dream 11 itself. You can come here and check it out directly. And let's look at what our buy sell options are for this game. First up from Bangladesh, I think you can go with Nasoom Ahmed if he's bowling second, and if Fizz is bowling first, you can go with him. I think these are your two worthy options. Shakib Al Hasan at 46 is a decent sell candidate, because even if he gets say 20 runs and takes a wicket, you're still profitable in the sell. On the other end, even if he does not, example, if he does not score runs and takes 2 wickets, it's still profitable for you. Or if he scores 30 runs and doesn't take a wicket, it's still profitable for you. So I think that's a decent sell candidate. Apart from that, if Afif Hussain is batting first, he's a good buy candidate. Then we look at Pakistan. I think from here, Haris Rauf and Shaheen, if they are bowling first, good buy candidates. Same for Mohammad Hasnain if he plays. And apart from that, Shadab or Nawaz, when they bat first and bowl second, they're decent buy candidates. So yep, I think that is what my thought process for this specific game is. Again, if you don't have this app link, I'm attaching it below in the description. And yes, they also have another option called multi-bagger. What's multi-bagger? Here you can simply buy shares of one specific player, and it's not at that 40-50 rupees. Here it's only 10 rupees per share. But how do you win this? You need to predict who's going to get the highest points in the game. So if I feel like Babar Azam will get the highest points in the game, I buy one share of his, and my estimated return is 4.8 times. Now, how is the estimated return calculated here? It's calculated based on the amount of buys of a specific player. Same way, if you come here to Shakib, the return is way more. Why? Because maybe as many people have not bought Shakib or Mehdi as many as those who have bought Rizwan or Babar. So if you feel like a risky pointer is going to come up and take the highest amount of points in a specific game, then multi-bagger is for you. Yes, the catch also being, in multi-bagger you do not get any return back. If example Babar does not get highest points in the game, you do not get any return back from that 10 rupees. Versus in buy and sell, even if Babar scores 10 runs and gets 10-12 points in the game, you get 10 rupees back out of 45 rupees. So yes, it's slightly more tricky for you to estimate the multi-bagger, but the best point being that when you predict it right, then obviously the returns do not end. So yep, that's my preview for this specific game. I hope you all enjoyed it. Sorry I've not been able to cover the last few games, not been keeping too well, but hope with the World Cup coming up I can be more active with the previews too. I hope you all enjoyed this one. All the good luck to you for this specific game, and hit the like button before you leave.